I'm Greg Brown for Newsmax TV Money. We're talking today with Larry Kudlow, host of CNBC's Kudlow and Company, and he has his own show on ABC Radio as well. Welcome, sir.
Thank you.
Let's talk origins. It's pretty clear that the big drive in Washington for years and years was to create home ownership at nearly any cost through Fannie and Freddie. Then during the housing boom, of course, no politician was going to say, no, you can't get rich on your home. Wasn't this outcome astoundingly obvious?
You know, that's a really important point because we have just gone so far from good standards and principles when it comes to buying a home. By the way, there's a very good piece in today's Wall Street Journal by my friend Dan Henniger on this very point. You used to have to put 20% down, and you had to save in order to buy a home. And I think that is a standard we should go back to. This idea in the last 20 years, under both Republican and Democratic management, this idea that you can buy a house with no money down, no proper documentation, and no credit scores is just nonsense. And it has really undermined the whole housing story and the whole financing of housing, the mortgage story. And you can see what happened here. Bad loans were made with the encouragement and force of Congress and the regulators. Bad loans were made, and when those loans were made, they were packaged together into these so-called mortgage-backed securities. And then Wall Street starts buying and selling them with huge leverage, huge borrowing. And when the loans turned sour, we all got into this fix that has frozen the banking system. And it has spread to other loans and caused a tremendous loss of confidence. So anybody who's thinking about how to solve this in the long run should really think hard about going back to good, strong standards and strong down payments. It's a terribly important point, which I fear has not been adequately discussed in all the bailout discussions and the rescue discussions going on today in Washington.
Grade, if you would, the performance of Ben Bernanke and Henry Paulson so far. A, F, somewhere in between?
Well, I'd give those guys about a B. I'd give them a B. You know, I think they're doing the best they can do. They're both smart guys. I'm glad we have a financial man like Paulson in the Treasury. And I think Bernanke is proven to be a good Fed chairman on the whole, not perfect. But I think, you know, you can say that they were late to the party. But to tell you the truth, almost everybody was late to the party. No one really believed a year ago that things were going to reach this difficult position that they're in now. So I give them pretty good marks.
Congress is talking now about adding auto loans, student loans, maybe the kitchen sink into this bailout. Isn't this how we got into this mess?
Well, look, the student loans and the auto loans and the credit card loans may surface in some of these troubled institutions. And I think that the Treasury will probably, if that turns out to be true, the Treasury will probably include those loans when they auction off the distressed securities. I don't see any way around that. I don't think that's going to be the bulk of it. The bulk of it's going to be mortgage-related paper. But I wouldn't be surprised if it's spread to some of these other lending areas.
Let's talk about the short-selling ban. That's like changing the rules at halftime, and a lot of investors who were positioned for that got hit. What happened to our free markets?
Yeah, I think these short-selling bans are stupid. I don't know what's gotten into Chris Cox. I mean, look, legal short-selling rather than naked, but if you borrow the collateral and then you go short, I'm all for it. It is a free market. I think that we should not be banning shorts, nor should we be putting 800 institutions on a list that can't be shorted. And I think they should restore the uptick rule, which has always been in place up until about a year ago. I've never understood this. Short sellers are not causing the problems in our markets. What's causing the problems in our markets was bad lending decisions and then bad risk management decisions. So I agree with you. This is a free market, and we should allow legal short selling.
We've been talking today with Larry Kudlow, host of CNBC's Kudlow and Company. I'm Greg Brown for Newsmax TV Money.